Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive.
It's great to be here.
Today we're diving into one-pan chicken recipes,
Sounds delicious.
and we're going to be looking at the Fork and Fry collection for inspiration.
Ah, yes, fork and fry.
Yeah, they've got some seriously tempting recipes and,
Oh, yeah.
one-pan cooking, it's all the rage these days, right?
Absolutely.
For good reason, too.
For sure.
I mean, who doesn't love the idea of less cleanup,
Right.
big flavors, and especially on those busy weeknights when you just don't have a lot of time?
Exactly.
Fork and Fry actually calls it a revolution.
A revolution.
That's right, a one-pan revolution.
Mm-hmm.
They really make a strong case for it, too.
Do they?
Yeah, they talk about how it fits perfectly with our modern lives,
I can see that.
where, everyone wants delicious homemade meals, but time is precious.
Totally agree.
It's all about efficiency and taste.
That's the key.
And I have to agree, the recipes we're going to be looking at today definitely deliver on both.
Ep-
But it makes you think, like, why hasn't this been the norm all along?
It's so simple.
Right.
And yet so brilliant.
It's like a culinary aha moment.
Exactly.
So let's dive into a specific example.
Okay.
This Mediterranean-style sheet pan chicken from Fork and Fry. It really caught my eye.
Oh, that one's a classic.
It's all about those fresh, vibrant flavors,
Yes.
And it's inspired by Greek and Italian kitchens.
The heart of Mediterranean cooking.
And we're talking fresh lemon juice, garlic, olive oil, oregano.
The essentials.
All those beautiful seasonal vegetables, too.
No.
Zucchini, bell peppers, cherry tomatoes.
What's wrong with those?
And then feta cheese for that tangy kick.
Oh, fez must.
Fork and Fry suggests serving it with warm pita bread or quinoa.
That sounds like a perfect meal.
And get this, it's only 466 calories per serving with 25.7 grams of protein.
Wow, so you can enjoy those big Mediterranean flavors without the guilt.
Exactly. It proves that healthy cooking can be incredibly delicious.
Absolutely.
So we've talked about the oven, now let's move to the stovetop.
Oh, right.
What about skillet chicken?
Oh, skillet chicken is
Always a winner.
Always.
And Fork and Fry has some really great tips for mastering skillet chicken.
Like what?
Well, first off, using the right pan.
Okay.
They recommend a cast iron or stainless steel one for even heat distribution.
Makes sense.
And then patting the chicken dry before cooking.
Oh, that's important.
That's key for a crispy golden brown crust.
Absolutely.
They also caution against overcrowding the skillet.
Oh, yeah. That's a common mistake.
It's better to cook in batches if you need to.
Right.
Just to make sure everything cooks evenly.
Exactly.
Speaking of skillet chicken,
Yes.
have you seen their lemon garlic butter chicken recipe?
Oh, that one is irresistible.
It's a classic combo, right?
Right? Go wrong with butter, garlic, and lemon juice.
And what stood out to me was that they add a touch of white wine.
Ah, that's a nice touch.
It adds a layer of complexity to the flavor.
And it helps deglaze the pan.
Oh, right, deglazing.
Yeah, it lifts up all those delicious brown bits for extra richness.
I love that Fork and Fry suggests serving this with rice or roasted vegetables for a complete meal.
Sounds perfect.
All right, now let's talk about healthy one-pan chicken and veggies.
Okay.
I feel like this is where meal prep dream can come true.
Oh, absolutely.
High protein, lots of good stuff from the veggie garden, and easy to make ahead.
You're speaking my language.
What I love is the flexibility.
Oh, yeah.
You can choose your favorite cuts of chicken.
Breast size drumsticks.
Exactly, and same with the veggies.
Bell peppers, carrots, broccoli, zucchini, Brussels sprouts.
Endless possibilities.
It's all about what you like.
Fork and Fry even gives you options for seasoning.
Oh, that's good.
Garlic, paprika, thyme, or even a pre-made marinade if you're short on time.
Convenient.
And they talk about different cooking methods, whether you're roasting in the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit
All right.
or sautéing in a skillet,
Yeah, it's all about finding what works best for you and your kitchen setup.
right? And they have this great pro tip about leftovers.
Oh, tell me.
You can refrigerate them for up to 3 days
Okay.
or freeze them for future meals.
That's a game changer.
It is a game changer for busy weeknights.
For sure.
Speaking of potential pitfalls,
Uh-oh.
we all know even the simplest recipes can go wrong sometimes.
It happens.
What are some common mistakes people make with one-pan chicken?
Well, we already talked about overcrowding the pan.
Right.
That's a big one because it leads to uneven cooking.
Makes sense.
Some pieces might be overcooked while others are still raw in the middle.
And then there's the food safety aspect.
Yes.
Fork and Fry is very clear about using a meat thermometer
Of course.
to make sure the chicken reaches an internal temperature of 165 degrees Fahrenheit.
Absolutely. Skipping the thermometer is a risk you don't want to take.
It's the only way to be certain the chicken is cooked through and safe to eat.
Exactly.
Another common mistake is using too much liquid.
Oh, yeah.
While a bit of broth or sauce can add flavor too much, we'll end up steaming the chicken. instead of giving it that beautiful golden brown crust.
You want that nice sear, that caramelization.
Exactly. Too much liquid interferes with that process.
Now let's talk about a specific recipe that caught my eye.
Okay?
The quick and easy sheet pan garlic herb chicken with roasted potatoes.
Oh yeah, that one sounds perfect for those nights when you need a satisfying meal without a lot of fuss.
Exactly. Fork and Fry calls it a wholesome, delicious meal with almost no cleanup.
That's what we like to hear.
And they use simple ingredients.
What?
Boneless, skinless chicken thighs, fingerling potatoes, olive oil, garlic powder, dried rosemary, salt, and pepper.
All pantry staples.
Easy to find.
And the instructions are super straightforward.
Tell me more.
You preheat the oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit, toss the chicken and potatoes with the olive oil, garlic powder, rosemary, salt, and pepper, spread everything out on a sheet pan, and bake for 25 minutes.
Okay.
And if you want to add some extra veggies like broccoli or carrots, you can toss those in and bake for another 15 minutes.
You can customize it.
Exactly.
That's great.
So we've talked about cooking the chicken, but what about meal prep?
Ah, yes. Meal prep.
Fork and Fry has some smart strategies for making one-pan chicken even more convenient.
Do tell.
They suggest marinating the chicken ahead of time,
Okay.
pre-chopping veggies, and storing them in airtight containers.
That's smart.
And if you like to cook in bulk, you can cook the chicken in batches and freeze portions for grab-and-go meals.
Talk about convenient.
Right.
So when you're ready to reheat, they recommend either popping the pre-cooked chicken and veggies in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 minutes,
Okay.
or microwaving them for 1 to 2 minutes.
So we've covered a lot of ground here, from the benefits of one-pan cooking to specific recipes and tips for success.
It's clear why one-pan chicken has become such a staple in modern kitchens.
It's all about deliciousness, convenience, and versatility.
Exactly, and Fork and Fry has done a fantastic job of providing home cooks with the inspiration and tools they need to embrace this culinary trend.
Couldn't agree more.
So are you ready to try some one-pan chicken?
I am definitely ready to get cooking.
Me too.
You know what I appreciate about Fork and Fry?
What's that?
They don't just throw recipes at you.
Right.
They actually empower you to understand the why behind the techniques.
I like that.
Yeah, they have this great section on their website
Oh, yeah.
that answers all sorts of common questions about one-pan chicken.
Like what kind of questions?
Well, they cover everything from choosing the right pan to meal prep tips and even flavor variations.
Okay.
For instance, they answer the question, what's the best pan for one-pan chicken?
Interesting, because I feel like there are so many options out there.
Right? What do they recommend?
Well, they say a large cast iron skillet or sturdy sheet pan are the best choices for even cooking.
Which makes sense.
Right.
Both of those are known for their heat retention and distribution.
Exactly.
What about meal prepping?
Hmm.
It seems like a natural fit for one-pan chicken.
Yeah.
But are there any specific tips they offer?
Oh, Fork and Fry is all about meal prep.
Right.
They recommend cooking the chicken and veggies in advance,
Okay.
then storing them in the fridge for up to 3 days or freezing them for up to 3 months.
So you could have like a week's worth of delicious one-pan chicken meals ready to go.
Exactly. Meal prep nirvana.
That's amazing.
And let's not forget about flavor.
Right. We've talked about some classic combinations.
Ah.
But what if you want to get a little more adventurous?
Ooh, Fork and Fry has you covered.
Do they?
They suggest experimenting with different flavor enhancers like pesto harissa or a honey mustard glaze.
Ooh, pesto. That would add such a fresh, herby twist to the chicken.
And harissa would bring some heat and smokiness.
The possibilities are endless.
Exactly. And that's what I love about Fork and Fry.
What's that?
They don't just give you recipes, they encourage you to explore and experiment in the kitchen.
It's like they're saying, here's a colic foundation, now go forth and create.
Exactly. So refreshing. So far, we've talked about a lot of the practical aspects of one-pan chicken.
The convenient, the meal prepping, the versatility.
Yeah.
But what about the bigger picture?
Mm.
Why do you think this cooking method has resonated so strongly with people?
I think it tacks into a few key things.
Okay, what are they?
Well, first, it aligns perfectly with our desire for convenience and efficiency in the kitchen.
Right, we're all busy.
We are.
And one-pan cooking streamlines the process without sacrificing flavor.
It's the ultimate weeknight dinner solution.
But I think it goes beyond just convenience.
I agree. There's also a sense of satisfaction that comes with creating a complete, flavorful meal using just one pan.
It does feel almost magical.
Yeah, like you've unlocked some culinary secret.
Totally. And there's something very appealing about that.
Like you're maximizing flavor and minimizing effort.
Right, which is a winning combination in anyone's book.
Plus, it just feels good to know you're not creating a ton of dishes to wash later.
Absolutely. And let's not forget the environmental aspect.
Oh, that's a good point.
Using fewer dishes means less water and energy used for washing.
Right. Which is a win for the planet.
I hadn't even thought of that, but you're so right.
so it's convenient, delicious, and environmentally friendly.
One-pan chicken really does tick all the boxes.
It really does. Now, I know we've been focusing on fork and fry,
Yeah,
which is a fantastic resource.
it is.
But I'm curious, do you have any favorite one-pan chicken recipes or variations?
Ooh, that's a great question. One of my go-tos is a simple sheet pan chicken with roasted root vegetables.
Sounds delicious.
I use whatever's in season: sweet potatoes, butternut squash, parsnips, carrots.
What's your secret for getting those root vegetables perfectly roasted?
Well, I toss them with olive oil, salt, pepper, and a little bit of maple syrup,
Oh, maple syrup.
just for a touch of sweetness.
Okay,
And then I roast them at a high temperature, around 425 degrees Fahrenheit,
gotcha.
until they're tender and slightly caramelized.
That maple syrup is a brilliant touch. I'm going to have to try that.
You should.
And what about you, dear listeners?
Yes. Do you have any one-pan chicken triumphs you'd like to share?
We want to hear from you.
We'd love to hear your tips, tricks, and favorite flavor combinations. You can connect with us on social media.
Or leave a comment on the Fork and Fry website at www.forkandfry.com.
And while we're talking about Fork and Fry,
Yeah.
they have a whole section dedicated to reader-submitted recipes,
Oh, wow.
which is such a cool way to get inspired and see what other home cooks are creating.
It's like a virtual community of one-pan chicken enthusiasts.
Exactly. And speaking of information,
Yes.
I think Fork and Fry does a brilliant job of highlighting the endless possibilities of this cooking method.
They really do.
They really emphasize that one-pan chicken is more than just a recipe.
It's a concept.
It's a concept, a way of thinking about cooking.
I like that.
It's about simplifying your life in the kitchen without sacrificing flavor or creativity.
And they encourage you to play around with different ingredients, seasonings, and cooking techniques.
Right.
To create dishes that reflect your personal taste and style.
And I think that's what makes one-pan chicken so appealing.
What's that?
It's approachable for even the most novice cooks yet. It also offers plenty of room for experimentation and personalization.
Absolutely. So whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out in the kitchen, I think we can all agree that one-pan chicken is a culinary gift that keeps on giving.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So what are some key takeaways you want our listeners to remember from this deep dive?
Good question.
Well, first and foremost, one-pan chicken is all about convenience without compromise.
Right.
It's a quick and easy way to get a delicious, healthy meal on the table, even on the busiest weeknights.
And don't be afraid to experiment.
Try different cuts of chicken, different vegetables, different seasonings.
The beauty of one-pan cooking is that it's so versatile.
And remember, Fork and Fry is a fantastic resource for recipes, tips, and inspiration.
Definitely.
Be sure to check out their website at www.forkandfry.com for even more one-pan chicken goodness.
As we're wrapping up this deep dive, it's got me thinking,
Yeah.
Fork and Fry really emphasizes the endless possibilities of one-pan chicken. But what if we took that idea a step further?
I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
What if instead of limiting ourselves to chicken, we applied this one-pan magic to other proteins?
Ooh, interesting.
Think one-pan salmon with roasted asparagus, one-pan shrimp scampi with zucchini noodles, or even one-pan tofu stir-fry with all the colorful veggies you can imagine.
That's brilliant. You're right. It's taking the same principles of efficiency and flavor
Exactly.
and applying them to a whole new world of ingredients.
Suddenly, the possibilities are truly endless.
I love it.
So to all our listeners out there, I challenge you to embrace the one-pan concept and let your culinary creativity run wild.
Yes, don't be afraid to experiment with different proteins, vegetables, seasonings, and cooking methods.
And remember, the most important ingredient is to have fun.
Absolutely. Cooking should be a joyful experience, not a chore.
Right.
So grab your favorite pan, gather your ingredients, and let's create some one-pan magic together.
Beautifully said. Well, that wraps up our deep dive into the world of one-pan chicken recipes. We hope you've gained some valuable insights, discovered some new culinary inspiration, and are feeling ready to tackle your next weeknight dinner with ease and confidence.
And if you're looking for more delicious recipes, helpful tips, or just want to connect with fellow food enthusiasts, be sure to visit Fork and Fry at www.forkandfry.com. They've got a fantastic community and a wealth of resources to help you on your one-pan cooking journey.
From all of us here at the Deep Dive, happy cooking.